application. Is working perfect. Then I will proceed with the screen share. And we can get right into it. All right. So let's go look at me. I'm the exchange now. Building apps with the Blink API. This is what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about what is Blink, what is the Blink API, what are other people building with it, why is it interesting to build it and to develop it. And then we have a little demo of a application that we developed in-house at Blink. It's called Blink Voucher, and we just released it in alpha. And then we will be going over a couple of examples of how to use the GraphQL API. You're going to go to the API playground. You can join us and you can do the schemas and commands and try out how to send money around with the big API over Lightning and Intraledger and on-chain stuff. All right, this is our journey for this session now. So let's get started. So what is Blink? Blink is formerly known as the Bitcoin Beach wallet. Why is it formerly known as Bitcoin Beach wallet? Bitcoin Beach is the nickname of the community in El Zonte, El Salvador, at the Pacific coast of the Central American Republic. They started to use Bitcoin as money for payments back in 2019, and the wallet that they used was the Bitcoin Beach wallet, the predecessor of Blink. It was tailored by the CEO of Galoy, Nicola Berti, to the needs of the community there, and it was the community's favorite wallet because it was very easy for them to use it. Nicola went to El Zonte and studied how people use the wallet and how they need to, what needs they have, and tailored it to their needs. It's also a financial institution incorporated in El Salvador. So it's the first Bitcoin company in El Salvador. It's regulated as a Bitcoin service provider, and it is an instantiation of the Galoy open source software that Galoy is developing, which is Bitcoin banking software, basically Bitcoin banking infrastructure for enterprise grade. 1 year ago, we made a name change from Bitcoin Beach wallet to Blink. Blink is a lot easier to pronounce, and a lot of people thought that the wallet is only for people in El Zonte, in El Salvador. But it's not. It's supposed to be really a useful tool for anybody around the world who wants to start using Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, as a means of payment in their communities. And they can very easily get started with Blink. So we're trying to make it a bottom-up adoption weapon that gives anybody who wants to use Bitcoin, like all the tools, whether it's a merchant or a customer or a freelancer or a shop owner who has staff, all the tools to do it. So it's become the wallet of choice in many Bitcoin circular economies around the world. It has a mobile app for iOS and also for Android. There's a dashboard that you can log into at dashboard.blink.sv. There are third-party integrations, which we will have a look at. And I think what's really important is that since it's a custodial wallet, right, it's very easy to use and very accessible. You don't have to worry about all of the intricacies of Lightning, like liquidity management, channel management, on-chain, and all those stuff. All that is abstracted away for you. It's all being done in the backend by the Blink team. And therefore, it can offer like you can create an account just with a phone number. Right? You don't need any other documentation. You don't have to upload any utilities or passport ID, whatever. You just need a phone number and internet to sign up. However, it's not available in some countries, like in the United States and some other countries like North Korea. Some countries are on some sanctions list, and as a regulated financial institution, Blink has to abide by these regulations, right? So it's playing within these rules, and but yeah, it's fairly accessible. Like I think over 160 countries, it's available in the app stores and Android stores, and also there is an APK for Android that can be side-loaded onto Android devices. Okay, so that's Blink Wallet. I heard that you already are familiar with it because you downloaded it and played around with it, so that's great. Ideally, you already have like an account, and if you have an account, you can also generate API keys. Now, what is the Blink API? The Blink API is a powerful, cost-effective, reliable solution for integrating Bitcoin into projects. And you can do this like with a quite low learning curve, regardless of experience level. Like you can get to a good place where you can integrate Bitcoin and Lightning into a project without being an expert in any of these things. Right? So what it uses is a hosted GraphQL API that facilitates on-chain payments, Lightning payments, obviously also intra-ledger payments, and it also offers a dollar account next to the Bitcoin account. So you can hedge the exchange rate volatility of Bitcoin with the dollar account. The dollar account is created with technology that we call stable sats. It's synthetic USD that is developed that you can create by shorting Bitcoin on a derivatives market called a perpetual inverse swap contract. You can read more about that at stablesats.com, how it works and why it's unique. In general, for the Blink API, you can find extensive documentation and interactive tutorials at dev.blink.sv. And about pricing, and we will get into these tutorials a little bit with my colleague Openox. He will walk you through it. About the pricing, maybe it's also an important topic. There's very competitive pricing for payments between Blink users. There is no fee at all, 0 fee. For outgoing Lightning payments, usually the routing fee is historically 0.02% of the payment amount. There is no fee that Blink takes, so you're only paying the Lightning Network routing fees, and you're doing so only for the outgoing payments. For incoming payments, it's the payer's concern, right? In terms of on-chain deposit, there is a deposit fee. However, if you deposit more than 1 million sats, then there is no fee. Below 1 million sats, I think there is a 10,000 sat deposit fee, and it is one revenue source for Blink. But there's also another reason why we need to charge a fee here, and that is not to get spammed by Dust UTXOs, which are very costly to handle. If we credited those into a user's account, we would have to spend them later on. And very small UTXOs are uneconomical to spend in an IT environment. They incur a higher cost on the service than it actually provides a benefit to the user. So, yeah, basically there is a threshold above which only payments will be deposited. And finally, there is also the option to convert to dollars, to stable sats. There is no fee here. However, there is a 0.2% spread charged on the exchange rate. That is also a revenue source of Blink. So when you switch from Bitcoin to dollars and dollars to Bitcoin, you're paying basically this 0.2% spread, which is a little fee. It's a spread, not a fee. There's a difference, but it's a very competitive price if you compare it in the ecosystem for what you get. All right. I don't know. We can make this interactive. If there are any questions, I'll stop here briefly, and else just give you the opportunity to ask any questions until this point. And if there are none, we can continue.
Does Blink work in India? Can you hear you? Does Blink work in India?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question. Can you repeat, please?
Yes, please. Does Blink work in India?
Maybe someone has to write the question in the chat because I didn't understand the question again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear it very muffled. Like the microphone is very muffled. I do hear something, but I don't understand what is being said.
Oh, he's asking if Blink works in India.
Oh yes, now that I could hear very clearly. Yes, Blink does work in India.
Any other question?
Okay.
So
then let's continue.
Hello.
Oh, there's another question?
Yeah, I realized when I was installing Blink, it's kind of abstracted. So I was wondering if it's custodial or non-custodial. Like, where can I get the keys if I want to be fully in control of the wallet?
Yes. So Blink is a custodial wallet. You don't get keys. Blink holds the keys on your behalf. There is no seed to be written down. What you have is just a phone number, and you enter your phone number, and to that phone number you receive a one-time password. You put that one-time password that you received to your phone number into the application, and that's how you access your account. So it's not a self-custodial Bitcoin wallet. It is a fully custodial wallet where you trust a financial institution to manage your transactions and keep your money secure. So it is not a self-custodial Lightning wallet or a Bitcoin wallet.
It's just a follow-up question. So in the worst case scenario that I lose the device I installed Blink and it had my Bitcoin in it, what's the best way of recovering them? Or is there a way I can contact the Blink team?
If you lose your phone with where your Blink account is on, you can get a new device, download the Blink app, put in your phone number, and you will receive again to this phone number your one-time password, and you can access your account again, and your funds will be there. I would recommend, for security reasons, once you have created your account with your phone number, go to the settings and add an email address to your account, and then ideally even remove the phone number from your account. So for login, it is recommended that you receive your one-time password for login to your email address. The reason for this is manifold. Primary is security. Phone operators can be socially engineered, and it happens a lot in the United States, predominantly. But it can there is an attack called a SIM swap attack, where an attacker gains access to your phone number and receives the one-time password that is only for you the attacker receives it, because they managed to socially engineer the phone telecommunications company. So this is not possible with an email address. So an email address is much more secure. And I would recommend that you basically add an email address to your account and remove the phone number login and only log in with email henceforth. The second reason is a reason for Blink. It will also save us costs, because sending out an email is cheap for us. It doesn't cost anything. However, sending out a one-time password via SMS or WhatsApp to countries around the world, it incurs a fee for us. So you would do us a great favor, but at the same time, by reducing our costs and improving your own security if you added the email address. So this is how you recover if you basically lose access to your phone. You just get a new device, download the application, and log in with your credentials. Okay, let's move on. So we're going to have a look at a couple of usage examples of the Blink API. So this here is a example called the Lightning ATM. It is a do-it-yourself Lightning ATM where you can basically throw in coins or banknotes. You can configure what kind of coins, right? They have to be measured, and the machine needs to be adjusted to the coins that you want to have. So for Kenya, you would adjust it to Kenyan shilling. Here in the Czech Republic, it's Czech koruna. And then you throw in as many coins as you want. And here on this little display, it generates a LNURL withdrawal QR code that you can scan with any Lightning wallet and redeem the Satoshis in the value of the coins that you put in at the current exchange rate that the ATM offers. This is a really cool project that you can build yourself with off-the-shelf components. You can check it out. I will share the presentation and the links, but you can see here the GitHub. This is the Lightning ATM. GitHub by 21 is enough, and it's a really cool project. And you can see you can have the Blink API as the backend to basically facilitate the exchange transactions. And okay. Another example that is actually being presented here at BTC Prague for the first time is another ATM. It's also do-it-yourself, this time by Sirius, and it's called Fiat Hell, which is a funny name. This one works with banknotes, so you can see that it works with euros and with Czech korunas. You insert the banknote, it scans the banknote, recognizes its denomination, it calculates the exchange rate, and then also on the screen provides a LNURL withdrawal QR code for the customer to scan on their Lightning wallet and redeem it instantly for very little fees. Yeah, this is also a really cool example. There is also one called K1. It's actually one of the first Bitcoin companies that were started up by Salvadorans after Bitcoin was adopted as legal tender in the Republic of El Salvador. So this one is called K1 Mini, and it works with coins. It is also using the Blink API in the background, very similar to the do-it-yourself alternative. This is a productized version that these guys from K1 have built a business around. You can see that more and more places in El Salvador, very convenient to have at the airport when you're leaving the country and you just put in your dollars into it, and you can take sats, which you can use everywhere in the world. So that's one really cool use case. And then finally, this is a bit of a premium model. It's from Lamassu, who are also have been developing Bitcoin ATM machines for many years. I think they are based in Switzerland. Excuse me. And this is their biggest model. It has a pace that can take up to 40,000 euros in banknotes into it. So that's quite a lot of volume. And it is using the Blink API in the background to facilitate all the Lightning transactions. I saw this one live in action at the Bitcoin conference in Madeira, Bitcoin Atlantis, where the organizer bought one of these. I think it costs around, this biggest model costs around 13,000 euros, I think. And he bought one and set it up there. And basically, the conference attendees could go to it and purchase Bitcoin or sell Bitcoin to it. And I think he sold around 50,000 euros worth of Bitcoin during the 3 conference days just with this machine. And he charged a very small fee, so it was a very good offer that he made. But it was also very impressive to see how much of a difference it makes for Bitcoin ATMs when they are Lightning enabled. So we have this big problem in El Salvador where there are Chivo ATMs that have been rolled out by the government, but they are not yet Lightning enabled. And it is probably one of the biggest complaints of everybody somehow interfacing with Bitcoin in El Salvador, that these ATMs do not have Lightning support. Because when doing this transaction with on-chain, there is so many things that can go wrong just because the transaction is not instant. The blocks are only 10 minutes. There are fee spikes that can make it, you don't know when a block is mined, it's only approximately 10 minutes. It waits for a couple of confirmations, so to protect against double spending. And all that good stuff can lead to up to 1 hour, 2 hour, people having to go back and coming back later because they don't want to spend at the ATM for the transaction to confirm. And yeah, there's just so many pain points that arise from not integrating Lightning into an ATM that I would say it is, if you can't integrate Lightning and you want to make an ATM, just don't make an ATM at all. Like, it's really better to not have anything than to have a Bitcoin ATM that does not support Lightning, because there are so many complaints, so many bad experiences, so many support requests, so much money lost and time wasted, that it's just a net negative, I think, for everybody involved. Okay, enough with the ATMs. There are also other examples, and one is for integrations with third parties. One of them is Ivy. You might know Ivy. It's a really cool extension for your browser. You can connect your Bitcoin wallet to it. You can connect your self-custodial Bitcoin wallet to it, but you can also connect your Blink account to it and use your Blink account on the web. And the way it works, you just saw it here in this little video. You go to your dashboard at dashboard.blink.sv. You create your API keys. And, sorry, let's go back. You create your API keys in the dashboard. Here you can see it. You copy the string and go over to, you click on connect the wallet, and you choose the Blink wallet. You enter your API key. You select the account. It's possible with StableSats and Bitcoin. You log in, and boom, that's it. you now can use your Blink account through this desktop extension of Ivy on the web in your browser. So that's pretty cool. You can generate invoices with it. You can make transactions from it. You can see your balance and your past transactions. And it is secure because the API key is stored in your local browser, not shared with anybody. So that works really well. Another usage example that is super exciting in my personal view is the Blink plugin for BTC Pay server. We released it at the beginning of this year, and it is probably the integration that makes BTC Pay really accessible for a lot of people who could not previously use it because they are not very technical. So just for those who are not familiar, BTC Pay Server is a great open source payment processor, probably the best in the space. You can host it yourself. You can connect it to your own Lightning nodes. But it requires, as the name implies, running a server. And many people are not really technical enough to run a server. So what they do is then, what you can do is you can find somebody who runs one and just create an account there. But then, how do you have Lightning in that account, right? Will you trust the person to be your custodian? Most of the BTC Pay servers are not run by professionals. They're run by hobbyist Bitcoiners, right? And you might trust them to keep the service up, but maybe you might not trust them to manage your money. So for those who, I think the Blink plugin for BTC Pay is like really a great option for non-technical users who have a Blink account, who are trusting already a regulated financial institution in El Salvador. They can create an API key with it, input it into their BTC Pay server, and use all the functionalities of BTC Pay server, like point of sales, integrations with e-commerce like WooCommerce, Shopify, donation buttons, crowdfunding applications, all the good stuff that, and tons of more integrations that BTC Pay server has are now accessible for anybody with just a phone number. And that is pretty cool. Anybody can start receiving payments from anywhere in the world with just a phone number. And yeah, I'm quite bullish on this feature. There are a couple of other usage examples. There's a WooCommerce Direct plugin by Blink in development right now that will be out soon. You might have heard also about LNBits. It's a really cool platform to develop also on Lightning. You can use a Blink wallet as a funding source very soon. You also might have heard about eCash, which is like a lot of the exciting talk. Also here in Prague right now, a lot of people are very excited about eCash. And one of the developers, or the main developer, is Kalle. He's maintaining Cashew, and he's managed to develop like with the Blink API, and especially the stable sats feature, something that he calls stable nuts, which is a dollar eCash with excellent properties. So hackers are using it also to just get their project to a place, so they don't have to worry about the low-level logic of all the Lightning stuff. There are more examples that you can find about usage at dev.blink.sv/examples. And yeah, I think one thing also that's noteworthy, we now talked about the Blink API, which is a hosted API, right? Blink is an instantiation of the free and open source Galloy software. But it's free and open source software, and anybody can run it. So you could actually host your own Blink basically. You could create your own Bitcoin bank with the Galois Chain open source software. Now, it's not as easy as running a BTC Pay server. It's a little bit more involved. It has to run on Kubernetes, but it's quite modular, and it has a host license. If you're interested in hosting it yourself, you can find all the info and how to get started on that at dev.link.sv/self-host. All right. So now, as promised, we'll be talking a little bit about the application that we developed in-house at Blink. On top of the Blink API, it's called Blink Voucher. For the time being, it's in alpha right now. And I've been testing it here with a lot of fun at the conference with all the attendees. Basically, I'm running around with this nice machine called Bitcoinize. It's a point-of-sale machine that's an Android device, which has an NFC reader here. It has a touch screen, and it has a camera here on the back, and it has a printer, a thermal printer that you can print receipts with. Maybe can you log in here so we can demo it? I have the screenshots here. I just want to show the printing. If you can log in with your account, that would be amazing. So while OpenOms is logging in, let me show you what this application does. So you can log into it. You can call the application on voucher.blink.sv on your browser. Then you can log in with your email address or your phone number. And then you will get this screen on the left. You can see three options. You can see My Vouchers. You can create a new link and you can redeem the voucher. If you create a new link, you get a numpad where you can basically enter an amount that you want to sell for cash. And you can determine a commission at which rate you pay you sell this. So for example, $5, you want to sell a voucher for $5, but you're charging a 5% commission. You enter the commission here, and then it shows you how much profit you will make from this trade, which is $0.25. You click on Create Voucher, and gives you an overview and the option, basically from which wallet you want to pay and fund this voucher. You can choose between your Bitcoin wallet and your dollar wallet. There is a 0.2% platform fee that Blink charges, in addition to the commission that the vendor charges, right? So that's from the point of view of the customer. But they're getting a pretty good deal still. There is always a premium on KYC-free Bitcoin, which is also ethical Bitcoin. So people are very happy to pay a little bit of a premium, and the vendor is happy to part with his precious Bitcoin because he's getting a premium. So it's a good deal all around, and this application makes this transaction very seamless. And once the voucher is created, this is what it looks like. And I'll create one here. And just to show you the print process, so I'm paying the voucher, I'm creating a $1 voucher with a 2% commission. Now the voucher is created. We're at the same step as you can see here on the screen. Now there's a print button. When I click the print button, we see here this nice receipt here. I don't know if my camera is good enough for you guys to be able to scan it, but if you're quick enough, you can snatch it from the screen right now. So don't be shy and try it. I hope my camera is good enough. You need a Lightning wallet with LNURL withdrawal.
The one in the middle, the one on the right. The one on the right. That one.
You got it? Did it work? Okay. right? This is what the voucher looks like when you reveal it, and it makes this face-to-face Bitcoin transaction very seamless. Could you redeem the voucher? No, this one is not valid. Oh, this one that I show on the screen is not valid, unfortunately. It was already redeemed, sorry. It's just this one. But we can create one more if you want to test it. Okay, you have to do it. All right, there is also, so the best way to redeem these vouchers obviously is with Lightning. Lightning has very low fees, instant confirmation. It works like a charm most of the time. However, not everybody has a Lightning wallet yet. Some people are old school and they insist on using on-chain. So we have also an on-chain option to withdraw that we discourage, but we offer it. Why do we discourage it? Because sometimes the fees are so high on-chain that the fees might consume the entire voucher amount, right? So it's not a good idea to redeem a small voucher on-chain. It's always better to redeem it with Lightning, but if you must, you can do so. Probably if it's a big voucher, it's okay in terms of fees if the mempool is not too crazy. Okay, so basically to sum things up, Link Voucher is an app for the creation of dollar and Bitcoin vouchers. For the time being, it's only dollar vouchers. So the value of the voucher that you create is tied to dollars, to a dollar amount. We will also have Bitcoin amounts soon, so it will be SAT denominated. So it makes the sale of Bitcoin for fiat easy. Vendors can earn a commission. They can set the commission themselves flexibly for each trade. There is zero upfront cost or commitment, no minimum purchase or whatever, nothing. You just sign up, you have some Bitcoin, you can sell it for a premium. So it's ideal for exchange offices or exchange officers in cash-based economies. We have 65 currency pairs and growing. Only a 0.2% platform fee that Link charges. You can pay the voucher from your Bitcoin account and your dollar account. Currently, it's optimized for this Bitcoinized point of sale. It costs around $120. It is really a good device. It has a solid smartphone, great functionality, but it's expensive still. So there are also cheaper alternatives like these thermal printers that you can connect with Bluetooth to any phone. And they're very accessible as well. You can buy them for $20 at Alibaba. And we will be making it compatible with these printers as well. So small shops can also be on and off ramps without having to pay $120 for a Bitcoin Ice. Even though I think it's worth it if you have the money. Yeah, and what are the goals? Well, we want to spawn more peer-to-peer on and off ramps. Just make everybody who accepts Bitcoin like a Bitcoin OTC desk. There are places where people are already accepting Bitcoin. Now they can sell that Bitcoin for a profit to somebody who wants to buy Bitcoin. I think this could also lead to a shift in the perception of vendors where it goes from just Bitcoin accepted to Bitcoin preferred. Because, like I said, now they can make a profit by selling this in high demand digital asset for a premium to Bitcoiners who are looking to get KYC free Bitcoin. Yeah, and it's a way to make money for Blink, but also for the vendors of the vouchers, right? They can determine their commission themselves. We did the demo already, so I will be passing over the headphones to my colleague OpenArms now. Oh yeah, we have this one voucher. Did you share it? Okay. Oh, this is the okay. We have another voucher, so you can snatch this one as well. That's the first one. Okay, let's start this one. Okay, let's see if it works. Thanks, guys. I'll be passing on. Oh yeah, before I hand over the screen share to my colleague, any questions for me so far about what I've been telling you?
Question. Another question. Question. Yeah, come on.
Hello, can the API work for USSD integration?
No, that's a good question. Can the API work for USSD implementation? I think that USSD is like the standard that you can use with GSM, right? The one that Machankura uses. I mean, it is not out of the box compatible with it, but I bet you could build an application that basically makes them work together nicely. And I think this would be really a cool project to do. So no, nobody has built it yet, and I think somebody should build it.
Any other question? Yeah, we're going to proceed. Proceed. I think you can proceed now.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'm handing over to OpenArms, and he'll show you a little bit of the Blink API playground.
Okay, so hi everyone. Hope you can hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, very good. So what I will be keep speaking on your computer camera, and I will take over the screen share to be my desktop here to show you bits about the usage and the how the sausage is made, how we are working with this API. So any any of you in the audience have keyboard experience, like working with an REST API, GraphQL? I just want to know, like, what the audience is it like? Did you do write like JavaScript programs or a website or something like that?
We can't hear you clearly. I think check your mic.
What is the mic? Is the mic on?
Up.
Oh, sorry. Welcome to this.
There's more noise. I think mute one of your machines.
Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. So how about now? Is it better too?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay. And you can see my screen pointing to the documentation, right?
Yes.
So yes. Okay. So okay, I will just go step by step and explain what this is about. So basically, That showing you this application, which is this voucher, voucher building history, which I mean, I could should I just switch to that browser tab, where I have this open. I could do the same thing, which Kemal has done on the Bitcoin machine. I can do this on this building as well. So let's just let's quickly. So basically, what we have here is this is a website of the partial business room, where it's the same thing which is opened on this on this device, which has been showing the website itself. So it's a touch screen, you can just use the browser as well. So you can go straight into the link, or just do another one here. I've already set the currency to your 10 shilling, and you can do like 10 shilling voucher commission. In this case, 1%, that's 1%. So if you give me cash, I would get 1% more cash on Bitcoin value. Sell you this voucher. I have the option to. So I'm not going my wallet, my big wallet, so I have the option to pay on the voucher to my Bitcoin balance, so stable sets US dollar balance, and so fund it from my Bitcoin account. So in a good year, you can try to review this also. And just read it on. So it's just more clear how this is being done. If I print, so on this connect the printer, I can print this with this button, or I could paste launching address here, it would be higher amount to do this. So that's the application we're talking about. And if you would want to know what the source code is, if you introduce a bit up to access these things, Yellow Money is the organization which is providing the software for Blink Wallet. And Blink is the name of the repo that our main function that it is. It's all open source. It has free open source MIT license, which means that you can take it for use it for your own purposes and require specific obviously that needs to be hosted on your own machines. So instead of that, we just offer you to use our instance and use the API which we provide you. And within this repository, in the apps, there is the code for the dashboard, but also for the POS system, and also the voucher web application is in this repository. So if you want to play the source code or write a similar thing, then you're absolutely free to use it, and there's basically an example to do it. And all these, this application is part of our work, and it's part of the Blink ecosystem, but it still does use the API which our main server backend does provide, which Kemal had a few words about it. That what it is basically is just a layer above Lightning and on-chain functionalities, where you can provide accounts and manage receipt payments and send payments as we have explained, the authentication of the API is with API keys. I need to, when I go back to this other browser window, where I'm already logged into the dashboard of my Blink wallet, where you can see some balance, which I was using to pay voucher. There are like transactions are showing also, funding the previous voucher, for example. And then the way to get connected to the API is this tab, where I click on this API keys tab and create a new key, where I would just say demo key, and let's say I don't want to give it right access, so this key will be able to spend money from your account, but it will be able to read the balance and the history, and also be able to generate invoice in the recent scope. And if I create this, then this piece of code, which is the API key, which is can be used in the request to authenticate. And also there's like regulate full actions to important using Bitcoin or the USD web. I want to use the Bitcoin space button. So this is just a demo because I exposed this already. For second purposes, I just go ahead and move this API constraint. So you are not able to do that. So so all this is documented in the step-to-3 SV website, where the authentication is just goes through how do I go and create this API key, just show me. And in the request, if you do like the request, so you are applying it into programming for the API, just request, you need to use the header X dash API dash key and capitals, and use the API key which related to which you get in the dashboard. If you don't have a Blink account yet, even then you can go to this Blink dashboard, which is that dashboard for Blink Suite, and you can even with phone number you can be able to create an account. And then so what is the function of the API is this uses this GraphQL, it's a Python language where you can construct these requests. It's similar to JSON. The responses of the requests are coming in JSON format, and I mean, it comes with like building blocks in layers. It's like the most simple query is a new query with information about the account. For example, you can have you can refer to the default account, and then within the default account there are wallets, which we have two wallets like BTC or the USD denominated wallet. And this is just like Q-rates, which you can go to this website and you can learn a bit more about non-practicality and build it. It's like prominent applications like GitHub. The GitHub API itself is using GraphQL, or Facebook is another company's concept package which does use GraphQL surrounding videos from our colleague Roman engineers who speaks about this in detail in these videos as well. And in practice, what we can do is open this so-called GraphQL playground, which is for the public instance, which is the same, which is serving the wallet. The Blink wallet is exposed in this address API Blink Suite slash GraphQL. When to go here, you see I'm not logged in, that's pretty much yes, I can hear you. What would you like me to do? Oh, that's a shame. Is it, do you have a lot of background noise? Is that it? Or do I speak too fast?
No, there is not that many. The person that check the mic. I don't know if it's the mic. So we can't speak the words very well, or we can hear your voice. Right?
Okay. How about if I try to speak a bit more slowly? Is that better? I try to reduce the length of the microphone, and I'm trying to tweak some settings, or I'm just let me know if there is any change, or if I can improve or anything there.
So we're trying to adjust the sound of
Hmm?
So can you speak now?
So is it a part I should repeat, or are there any questions? At any point, please just go ahead. I'd like this to be interactive, but it's a bit difficult because we are not, live at your location. But yeah, let me know if there's anything that should be.
I think you have earphones. You have.
Um,
Have any questions?
no, come again, please. Yeah.
I think your machine has earphones, so now it's not. It's don't sing the sound. I think it's just the way he speaks actually. It's not really because of the sound. See, when the other person speaks, it's clear. The way he speaks.
I can. Okay, so let me let me try to correct the headphone to the issue. Okay, just give me a few moments.
Yes.
I'll be back in a few seconds.
when they're from. Just give it. Just give it.
So, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you said, is it clear? Anything to improve?
Yeah, I think it's a lot better.
A lot better. That's excellent. Okay, so, all right. Which part would you like me to repeat later? Like, because we were into speaking about GraphQL, right? And then just about to show you the practical way to use this GraphQL play.
Start on the GraphQL.
Yeah, so if you most projects have a REST like interface, API interface, where you can fire in different things. It's like a request each. In GraphQL, you can build requests from like these basic building blocks which are listed in the API reference or on the playground, where you can put together quite large requests as well to just get all the information in one go. So it is especially with applications like our mobile wallet, where sometimes people use it in environments where the internet is slow or the coverage is spotty. It is advantageous to use GraphQL because you can just do one request rather than do like 10 or 20 for the same purpose, and then you end up with just having partial information. Here with GraphQL, you can just build the request you need, and then have it in one go and process the response. So I mean that's the biggest advantage of it, and it's just a different kind of quite a language which it's easy once you get the principles and building blocks. It's quite easy to use. So that's what I like to demonstrate to you. So just after this introduction, there are a couple of links here, and I'm going to use first of them, which is linking to this GraphQL playground of our main link wallet backend. There are examples here to go through. I mean, you can do this like at home as well. This is probably not what you do in that quickly see. You can use the authentication token, which is an API key, which I just showed you previously how to do it. So I will just leave this. So how to create a big dashboard, and then once you paste the API key here, you can send these requests from the website as well. So there are examples of a new query, for example, where you can get the wallet IDs, the currency and balance. And going further on, here is an example to create a live invoice. It shows how to do it with a CRL, code request as well, check balance, and a couple of other options which are like basically check the wallet of sending and receiving both in BTC or USD, and also the same function. And if you, so these are the examples that I would like to show you in the dashboard. Let's open just a second. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I would want to know my wallet IDs, so just click on this, and it was added to this operation. And what else I would want to know? I would want to know from within the default account, I would again, now these are the relevant IDs. This is the account ID, which is not that relevant, so I can get rid of that. And bullets, ID, there's balance, and notes. So, okay, these are the things I would want to know. And I need to authenticate the request, so I added already an API key which I generated in the dashboard here, and using this header, I'm putting it into these connection settings. I just add this header to all the requests. And then to send this request from the browser, I have the response appearing here. Right? So that gives me the wallet ID, my BTC wallet here, and I can see balance, both and see which is BTC and which is USD. And next, I could go and create an invoice. So again, could search, if I just want to do it fresh, I would search for an invoice create. So it's like trying to be as much self-explanatory in the name as possible. So here I can click this, there's like a little explanation in the playground as well. And here I would want to add, so from the input fields, I need to add an amount. If I want to create an invoice, these are the obligatory parameters which have an exclamation mark at the end. So to make a successful request, you need to do this. So I need to have at least amount and valid ID added to my variables. That the amount is in sets, so I just want to do that. So I do want set invoice. And then valid ID, it is copied from the response of the previous request. So, and then here a set of information, what kind of information I want to have in the response. And I would definitely want to have the payment request displayed. And then also, to add here, if I press the button, which means I would send this GraphQL request in the response. Now I can see the Lightning Vault 11 Lightning invoice created, which is now the final state of this state hasn't been paid. What I had this open here was I was aiming to have another window with another wallet logged in, but I can just recreate that because you can just close it. What I make sure is just to pay this invoice from other entities. Yeah, not yet. So, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. and just graduating acting through concepts. Any questions? You have like, if you understand that what you're doing here is creating these requests and sending it to the Blink backend, you just go ahead and, I mean, it's actually a very good idea. I see a couple of you have laptops out, so you can follow the tutorial on the Laptop University website, and then you just play around in the playground yourselves.
Question?
For example, now you probably an invoice, maybe you have a POS system. Someone puts in the wrong keys in the wrong prices, and now at this moment you pay the wrong invoice. Is there a way on the next payment, for example, if it's a supply chain, in the next payment you can reduce now the amount being charged on the while still remaining the same price of the product, like the voucher?
I don't think that I got this impression. So you mean if I pay the wrong invoice, I mean there is no way back. Like transactions are not. There is no charge that you cannot make a transaction not happen.
Yes, correct.
So it either happens or it's not. If it's done, it's done.
So
that was the question. Is that
so after so now the question was now because there is no chargeback, so you have on the next order when paying the voucher, are you able to reduce now and make back your cut that you didn't on the wrong invoice, like now increase the price of the voucher?
the voucher is, so how the voucher works is that it has an escrow amount. So when you create a voucher, so the merchant who does create a voucher, who's selling sandwiches, will put the money from that balance to an escrow amount, an escrow account, from which the only possibility to withdraw the money is with that QR code, which is the LMURL code. And if it's not withdrawn, it will be stuck there, but there is no way to verify the amount of it. So
Okay.
what I'm showing you here in the graphical interface, this is now not a voucher, this is a line invoice. So it might be one so it's a question about the voucher which is showing you these QR codes, or is this about the multi-level invoice I have this here, I have here in the interface?
Okay.
Maybe just replace the question.
Any other questions? Okay, so there is no question for now. I think you can go on.
Yeah, okay. So what I did here is open another video, another graphic playground, which has different API keys. It's connected to a separate account. And I will take the example here, but first of all, get a thing for this account. within the separate that are wrong. You have this example from the page. Create a lot of windows and create this. And then use the playground to complete that first. Okay? Which is the invoice being sent mutation in this case. That's the screen first. I want to complete the variables in problem here with the ones which have question mark, which is coded first. So I'm going to let out you when this do this step. You see it has just coming up on the second datations values, but this is created on the 30 concentration rules of the data. So you identify the word, the API, so you do that. Let's look at the way to do this. Yeah. Yeah. We could develop the idea here and then get the payment first, which I generate the other. Let's go to this. Here. And quotes. This is JSON formatting. And when magic happens, not much feedback, only that the invoice system. And now you can see that my balance in the previous plus at the bottom was 143, should be 21 less. Now it's over 132. And then I can also see on the previous stuff. I can also check. The invoice itself is paid, but it's relatively also. You can take the invoice and check its status as well. That is, I think consider that, which, given that it's so slow, I would not want to go into. You can see it's only it's 1, so that it might be 8, minus 8. Yeah, let's just check the status of the single structure. Checking balance. Can copy this. Then we can SQL query which does invoice and status page. Here. Switching to the second level. Substitutions are basically web sockets. You can just rely on it, like something like a ticket here and Windows Pay is running a subscription, but it's not that easy to use in this backyard playground. It would need specific web socket application. By the way, Windows Pay is so we can use this. It says edit a new kind of request just like and use this like pay stuff. That's the problem to use this now. Then so maybe to press them off. I would need to want to see status, but they can turn the hash and to start. Yeah, so we just checked that now it's dependent, it's particular other things, their hash. So, I mean, this was short term how to play around with this experience with this FPL API. We also expose examples in Postman. So, Postman is an app for that app where you can use any kind of consent requests from this that app. And we are looking to collection we are exposing that through these queries being really prepared and like made for you to use just either as a copy paste or use tables in this Postman application. So, like as we have used this new scaling status, you can just click on that and see that in a slightly different way is new concept which help us happily you can feel that you can play around with some interesting connections and not stable. So yeah, I just wanted to show you this Postman interface to which we are creating here. This is Postman collection. If you open it into this interface chart, should use that. But also, this gives it says like automatic documentation page, which is accessible on this link. So you can report it for yourself in your Postman app, or you can just go onto this link. Like if I get to the previous screen by people running Postman, but otherwise it's just shown as auto-generated documentation. And what not thing about this that you can choose the language of choice to use to used to write an application, for example. So, for example, Python requests, you have the kind of simple implementations associated for this request. So again, then to quality choice, to ask for people's quality account, and then here is the display how to do this in Python first. But I can choose this C Sharp, Node.js, Go, or in Popular to use. This is like another pathway to create an application. Another way to get like should be the first minutes you've got to I hope you got this information. But if here in the depot, obviously the open source store, we have the sample implementation in JavaScript and TypeScript as well. But in the API usage examples, there are a couple of other open source things, like this Kemal was mentioned in the beginning, the ATMs. We are all looking to the source code of Yamatsu ATM to another ATM which is created in Python. There is this very similar plugin which is also open source itself, and that is able to pay, first of all, generate invoices, show balance, and source code that is linked in quick safety interface to the developer, and do this profile using specific plugins that you can find the plugin, which is using C Sharp. So it's another example of implementation to get your API. Now, the also, which we showed in the
Oh my God. Oh, who's calling?
so there's plenty of examples to get some samples how to implement this. We are making you can build your own vouchers and you can use ours, or you can come up with new ideas and build. If you have any questions, I mean, go ahead now. We should be able to answer anything for the next 10 15 minutes. But the best way to reach us is our own Methodist server. It's a community forum on the let's check it gallery.io. Come to us anytime, especially if you're looking at related questions, then all of us are around there. We can help you with your stuff or even feature requests and new things you want to build. So that's the best place to talk to us, but obviously you find us to take us to these. So yeah, I'm still sharing, and we do that thing.
Any questions?
We are muted by the way, so just also anything to clarify.
So there's no questions at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Your questions. So, shall we? Yeah. Okay. So thank you for the opportunity present, and please contact us further on if you want to use the wallet, if you want to do it, and yeah, we will give you a suggestions to improve. Okay. So have a good day, and yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you, and we're looking forward to updates from BTC Prague. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, guys. Hello. All right, guys. Now for the fun part, right? Some building. So, yeah. So, I guess we have about, what time is it, an hour before lunch? Yeah, we have about an hour. Cool. So we can, I'll give you a little plan for the little hackathon here. I know it's not too much time, but confident you guys will get something out of it. So I sent a little front end starter in the chat. Just a quick question. How many of you guys prefer front end? Just raise your hand. Front end development. How many people prefer front end? Is there any? One, two, okay. Okay, kind of. Three. Okay, cool. So I think the plan is it'll be about, we're going to break into groups like yesterday. It doesn't have to be the same group. It seems like most of you guys like backend, which is cool. So the plan will be to have a group, in each group, have one at least front end developer. They'll handle the front end side. I would say most of the work is on the back end anyway, so it's good that most of you guys are back end. And yeah, so the plan will be all the backend guys will work on integrating or implementing 3 endpoints. The get account details endpoint that basically shows you your IBEX account name and balance. The step 2 will be to implement the get invoice or generate invoice, right? So that creates the invoice. Then you'll be able to pay that invoice with your Blink wallet. You'll keep the stats low, right? And then step 3 will be to pay an invoice from the API, right? So the step is get account details, create invoice that you'll pay with your wallet, and then step 3, you'll pay your wallet from the step 3. Does that make sense? So you're basically implementing get account details, create invoice, and pay invoice. And so the whole idea, right, is that through the front end, and you can just do back end too, right? It doesn't, we don't have to implement the front end. I just thought it would be a bit more interactive, especially if people only like front end like me. But anyway, yeah, so the ideal flow would be, okay, I've implemented get account details so I can see my name and my account balance. Okay, step 2, create the invoice so that I can pay an invoice, right? And then step 3, create an invoice on your phone, either in Wallet, Satoshi, or Blink, and then pay that invoice from the front end so that you get your sats back. So IBEX isn't taking your sats, right? So basically, you just want to be able to put sats in and take sats out. That's the goal of the challenge.
For the back end, sorry, I don't have any starter. You're just going to have to spin up whatever you're most familiar with, whatever language. So yeah, it's sort of up to you guys. If you like Node, do JavaScript. If you like Go, do maybe Proto or whatever backend framework you think you can spin up the fastest and write 3 endpoints. Go for it. So yeah, I guess for now, for the next hour, you can just start getting into your groups. Try and make sure you have one front-end developer in each group. It's not a huge deal if you don't. You can just write this as a backend. You don't need the front end. I just thought, and it might be more engaging. Yeah. Is there any questions before we get started?
Yes. So I have a question. So 6 years back then, when I started interacting with the blockchain space, first of all, congrats. I've never interacted with that. It's such a fast network. Like, it's just amazing. But when I joined blockchain, I tried to build on Bitcoin, but it was somehow difficult to implement the opcodes. So I just decided to transition fully to EVM. So I have a question, like, you see, on EVM L2s, the key property of EVM is basically unilateral exits. Unilateral exits. Yes, whereby if a sequencer is acting on Byzantine, the user can force the funds to come back to him. So with Lightning Network, when let me replace the word sequencer with the routing channel. When I detect that the routing channel is acting Byzantine, can I force the funds to come back to me, or must I be on the mercy of the Byzantine channel to have to force my funds back to me? Because the key property as perceived for Lightning Network is just trust me, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I understand your question correctly, there's no, I guess I would say all payments are final, right? There's no scale back or rollbacks of transactions. So if you send the Bitcoin, it's sent. If you receive the Bitcoin, it's sent. So there's no reverts. There's no rollbacks. Does that answer your question? No? No? All right. Can you try and word the question a different way?
Like, just let me repeat it. Based on EVM, interaction with EVM, the key property of EVM and is unilateral exits. Unilateral exits, whereby if you detect any malicious activities, you can force your funds to come back to you. So to replace the word sequencer on the Lightning ecosystem, I see them as the routing channels. So if I detect that the routing channels act Byzantine, can I force my funds to come back to me, or after be on the mercy of the routing channel who has to send my funds to me? Then
I see. Yeah, so here in Node, basically what you would do is you would, it's called force closing a channel. So that's what you would do. Now that's pretty deep Lightning. Like you're not gonna have to worry about that today. I guess it's just a good question, but yeah, it's called force closing a channel. Now, it sort of depends on what the balance of the channel is, but yeah, it's like short answer, you can force close a channel. You do pay a fee to force close a channel because again, it's real Bitcoin, it's moving around, but yeah, it's possible. Cool. Any other questions before we get into groups and start working on these backends? Is the challenge clear? It'll make sense. Even if you're not the front end developer, it would help you just to look at the here. Hold on. I'll pull up my laptop, or I'll pull it up on this laptop. Just to show you, because I wrote the steps of the challenge in the front end. You know, I'm gonna get my
business development standpoint, or at least in my case, oftentimes when I talk about lightning, it is irreversible in the sense that it's between trusted parties. So if Jason presents to me a lightning invoice, I'm choosing to send those funds. You always start with the invoice and you pay the invoice, right? Like a request of funds. Now you're choosing to release those funds. In a point of sale system, right? At a restaurant, you pay those funds, or any retailer. Right now, spend with a credit card and you say, well, it's you can call it a chargeback, right? Chargebacks cost billions and billions and billions of dollars a year to companies. Hey, I didn't get the service I wanted, or I didn't take that flight, I want my money back. With Lightning, that is removed. So there's actually a perk to many payments businesses because the administration and clerical error that it removes, and then also you agree to send that, you're paying for a service you agreed upon, you have to make sure that that service is what you're getting. So it has to, it establishes larger levels of trust between consumer and retailer. So for the most part, we say it's irreversible. If the person wants their money back because they didn't like the service, you have to go to your restaurant, walk in and say, hey, I didn't like it, and get your money back from the owner. Irreversible in that sense, but like currently there's some huge stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, just give me a second. What the fuck? It's just working. What did I do? Give me 1 second, guys. I don't know what the error is.
Hello guys. So while we're still waiting, I just want to say something about first closed channels, like you was mentioning. So there are two ways of closing a channel actually. There is one called corporate closures, and there is forced closures. So you can close a channel corporately if your node and the PS node is online, right? You can initiate that and it will happen. So that way you are both signing the transaction and there will be no issue. But then for forced closures, this usually happens if the other pin is offline. You can initiate a forced close transaction, but then what happens is when you force close the channel, you are not going to get the funds back immediately. So there is something called time lock on the Bitcoin network, right? If you force close the channel, depending on the size of the channel, your funds will be locked for a certain amount of blocks before you'll be able to have access to it. So the reason why this is done is to prevent malicious happenings within the network. So the other P is because when you first close the channel, you're the only one signing, right? The other P is not online, right? So they do that to protect the other P. So they lock the funds long enough for the P to come back online to be sure that the transaction was, a proper transaction. So that's how first closures actually works. Yeah, I wanted to add that.
Hello? Okay, I would just say while we're waiting, just start getting in your groups and talking about what you're going to do. maybe what backend you're going to do, and you can start spinning up that the backend API just to get ready. Yeah, I should have it sorted in a couple minutes. Yeah, I mean, we just basically need one front-end person per group, so however that works out, maybe it's 5 people, 6 people in a group.
Any front-end guys yet? Yeah? All right. Team one. Any front-end guys yet?
All right.
Hello, hello. All right, we're going to do a little competition because it always makes it more fun. The winning team gets 10,000 sats for each team member. All right, so we'll do a little judgment at the end, and then whatever team gets the loudest cheer or whatever, Megas will decide the rules. We'll give away 10,000 sats each. Jump.
I would just say maybe we're any team that gets all 3 steps.
or any team, well, then I'm giving away more stats. I think all these guys are going to get all 3 steps. We'll see. We'll see how many people complete. Yeah, I bet you like stats.
All right, guys, just look up at the board real quick because it'll give you a visual of what you're trying to build. So this is Nuxt and Vue, just to make it easy. It's one page for the front end people. Oh, I just have to push a quick update to fix that bug you might have just seen, but I'll post that in a second. For the front end people, you're only going to be changing app.view. I've pretty much set it up for you here. So once your backend people get the APIs implemented, you'll start calling them in these functions. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Just call my name. Yeah, so like I said, step one, you want to get your account details. Once you get, first off, how many people have gotten into the sandbox? Anyone? Cool. So once you get into the sandbox, just create an account for yourself. You can just copy that account ID and use that hard-coded in, the back end, front end, whatever. Or I guess the back end should expect any account ID, so just hard-code the account ID in the front end. But just for testing, obviously you can use it in the back end, whatever. So yeah, like I said, step one, you want to get the account details. Once you get them, you'll set the account name and balance here. Step two is to generate an invoice. Once you generate it, you'll set this QR code string to the invoice, and it'll show up down here. You'll be able to then pay the invoice from your wallet, and then that should update the account balance. So if it does, everything's working. And then the challenge 3 is to pay the outside invoice from this front end, right? So again, for time's sake, you can just hard code the data necessary to call that endpoint and click that button, and again, the balance should update. Is that clear? The steps to the challenge is pretty clear?
By a show of hands, everybody understood that? It's not many hands, guys. Let's try that again. By a show of hands, everybody understand that?
Cool.
All right, if you have any questions, just grab Scott during it, okay?
Awesome.
Everyone's so We're putting the stored passwords and saying they're not getting links. Huh? People are putting in their recent passwords so they're not getting links. I don't know if that's true. Might be internet.
Yeah, it could be on that one. Maybe try it.
Oh, right. Okay. So the easiest way to do it is like go to the front end CSS. So like where you sign in, like the
So you're already signed up, you're already signed in. Great question.
Hello? Oh, cool. All right, so I just pushed a fix to the front end. There was just a configuration file thing. So just if your front end, pull master again, and should run now. And then another, Eric over there brought up a good question that I didn't explain at all. So let me show you basically how to get your API key so that you can make requests. Pretty important, right? Let me just pull that up and I'll show you guys how to get your auth token, basically.
Oh no, yesterday you started working for Ryan at gmail.com. You got 2 Ryan at gmail, then it's clocked. When you have a series estimate.
All right, guys. So just look up real quick. I'm going to show you how to get your basically API key. Like I said, we just use access tokens. So I should probably build a better front end way to get it. But so the first step, I told you to create an account just for testing. So it's pretty simple. Just create an account, and then that account ID will be used in most of the requests. But to get the actual authorization header, you're going to go to, you have to open DevTools. It doesn't matter what page, click Fetch, and then you can click any of these that are IBEX endpoints, so me or all or any of the ones that seem like APIs, right? And then you're going to want to go to headers, scroll down to authorization, and copy that entire string, and that's basically your API key. Any request you make to our API, you need that. You just put a header and say the header is authorization, and then you put the access token. Is that clear?
copy that. That makes sense? The table not showing up for you either? You never got the email? Okay. So are you back in the front end? So, when is you get okay. So then open it up. Like all you have to do is like pull it or fork it or whatever, and then pull it off the code. Whatever VS code or whatever.
No, but I mean, you use USD if you want, though. You just have to send and receive a bunch of the small amount of USD property. So yeah, that's just so that if you want, yeah, just to test user, and then you see it challenge one details. These rounds would be one, right? So yeah, you can use the console to make everything easier. But the goal is to code something. Right? So, but yeah, absolutely use that however you want.
Ooh. Is it? Good, I'm winging it.
That's how you do these things.
Right, exactly. It just goes to show, like, we need to improve our, like, so the project I'm working on right now is an OTC terminal, and the next front-end project is a dev portal. That's what like the console was originally supposed to be, but it's well, it's not good enough. Like, it was more meant to be a dev portal slash like the business guys that can ride, but at a company could like see how the API works and use it, and get a little bit of reporting. But we need more of a dev. That's because like they shouldn't have to go to the fucking network tab to grab the access token, and you know that's janky, right? So yeah, exactly. Yep.
I guess that's the backend. Maybe someone could read it.
No, it's all front end. It's the front end.
Oh, it's a front end.
Yeah. Like, yeah, like it should just be somewhere in the front end. You should just be able to copy your access to it, right? But the whole point is like, it's it's meant to be like an API, right? So, but yeah, it's just we need to definitely improve our developer experience.
I guess that's more on the documentation side.
Documentation.
That's the most
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we do pretty good with the docs, but
not for devs, like no, automatically.
Right.
you on?